Tributes have poured in from National League rugby clubs following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, a true British icon who loved her sport and will be sorely missed by the rugby community. These tributes come in the second round of the season, which is Derby Day, and this week's show takes us to the North East. Blaydon are looking to build some form, having lost that opening game against Hull Ionians. Tynedale make the short journey down the river with strong form. Who will take the North East crown this time round? Jake Rogers. And they're off to Will Rue. He was a bit of a demon against Sheffield last week. And now they're running with Rob Parker. Kick over the top from Toby Ferguson, trying to chase down his own kick. He might have the legs on Alex Charlton. Tries to get on there first. Tynedale think they've got it, and they do. Well, they've jumped out of the blocks there, haven't they, Tynedale? One little chip over the top, and Tynedale tear down that wing. And they have their first try in the first 2 minutes. Tynedale's lead lasted just 4 minutes as Danny Gray finished off this set piece. Errors were creeping into Blaydon's defence, and Rogers capitalised from the tee. Another scrum comfortably won. Blaydon has 4 out of 4. Clarkson might go, he goes back inside. Marshall, lovely deep run from Clark. And Clark charging through the Tynedale defence. And Blaydon surge into the lead for the first time. But once again, it was all about Dan Marshall. His combination with John Clarkson is proving potent at the moment from the scrum. Marshall coming back inside, seeing the deep run of Alex Clark and allowing him to charge through. It was Tynedale's turn to flip the score again. Louis Franklin diving over the line on the half hour. John Clarkson could have drawn Blaydon level at the break, but missed his penalty. Now Clarkson takes it out. Simpson. He's got a more central role in the second half. And it's created space for Bailey. And he has James Cooney on his far side. Cooney finding a little gap. Gets to the 5. Blaydon all of a sudden within touching distance of a third try. And there goes the charge from the number 8. And he finds the line. Ethan Clark has reignited Blaydon in this game. How Blaydon needed that. And do we have another thrilling tug of war on the Tyne on our hands? One short again by Charlton. It's Tynedale getting onto that. Blaydon have been risky, and it has proven too risky, and it could cost them massively. Well, he's calling over. And it has been given. Whenever questions have been asked of Tynedale, they have answered them in style and with a scoring touch. Maybe just starting to get out of reach for the home side. Back to Charlton. Ball gets set up very quickly, but Tynedale looking to push them out as quick as they can. They won't be able to do it though. Back come Blaydon. They look to put it down, and the referee gives it. The first step perhaps on a sensational comeback. Ethan Clark to man coming out with the ball. And could Blaydon be brewing something brilliant here? Well, it's been all about pack power for Blaydon today. 3 of their 4 tries, meaning to get a bonus point. The first time in 5 years, Tynedale win the North East Derby at Crowtrees. And what a tug of war it was. Blaydon 26, Tynedale 30. Another cracker at Crowtrees.
What a game. You know, it's always a good game, sort of Tynedale Blaydon, especially coming away to their place. And like, look, it was a real battle. So you can see by the scoreline of 30-26.
Now, talk me through your kicking style, your kicking build-up style, because I noticed it and I thought we've got to get inside your head for that one.
No, I mean, I've just got a rule of 3. So I tend to do 3 of everything. I don't know why, it's just a habit. Could be a bit of OCD maybe. If you're asking anybody in the club, you know, we want to be top of the league, we want to be, you know, pushing on. Obviously 9 points from 2 games, really good start, but you know, there's some fantastic teams in this league, and you know, anybody can take points off anybody. So we've got to stay switched on, we've got to stay progressing and making sure that when we do turn up to training, we put everything into it, and when we don't, and when we're off our time, we're recovering well, and you know, we're looking forward to the weekend.
We'll return to the Northern action shortly, but let's head to National 1, where the Berks Box Bash was under the Friday night lights.
Rams's pack was a key part of their winning start to the campaign last week, and it was on fire in the first half, flanker James McRae powering over twice. Seb Reynolds' backs also got involved in the action, which drew 800 people to Kingsley Road, Jack Rossiter hitting a brace. It's now 2 losses from 2 for host Chinnor. Dean Hammond putting them within 9 points of Rams, but never in contention. At Hayward Road, High Flyers Sale FC appeared to be having a tough start when Jacob Mounsey put Leeds Tykes within 2 points of the lead. But the Greater Manchester side soon got going with 4 tries before the break, Oscar Heskey-Douglas scoring the bonus point. They would add 4 more in a dominant display, young winger Sam Adu powering over for back-to-back braces. 130 miles south, Cinderford put on the show for their first home game, Will Baldwin scoring the try of the game in the first half. Birmingham Molesley kept giving the Gloucestershire side something to think about, Matt Marsh scoring with 6 minutes left. But Paul Morris's pack ensured there would be no comebacks. Dan Hodge diving over the line for a bonus point win. A real tussle unfolded at Veritas Park in the Southwest Derby. Jordan Gott's penalty drawing Taunton Titans level at 26-all with 20 minutes to go. But Plymouth Albion had a secret weapon in winger Alex Ducker, who strode over for a hat-trick try which would prove the difference between the two sides.
I think it's been shown in the past, it's really important you pick up bonus points, and for us to pick up another bonus point today, although we've lost, it's another point that we picked up, and they all mount up sort of certainly come the end of the season, so from that point of view we're really pleased. That said, I thought even come the end we had opportunities to maybe tie the game up. We missed that opportunity a couple of times, but hopefully going forward we can improve.
It was a game of 2 halves at the Ferrens ground, with Hull leading 19-0 after 35 minutes. A brilliant moment of creativity putting Reece Dean in. But Darlington Moden Park fired a warning shot before the half-time break when Gary Law scored from a period of possession. It saw the North East side take a firm grip on the game, Yari Fantini sealing a 5-try win in an impressive performance. There was a spectacle at Silverlays, 1 point ahead and 2 men down at half-time. Bishop Stortford extended their lead through Scott Lloyd. But Cambridge were unfazed, using their forward superiority to muscle space for their backs in the final quarter, Dan Bro capitalising. Only 6 points separated the sides, Anthony Macca striding over to secure a blood and sand win. And a sensational clash in Surrey. Rosslyn Park appeared to have the edge after a tough first half when Ben Howard secured a bonus. Esher, winners of Nat 2 South last year, were certainly up for the derby, and they had the lead with 8 minutes to go, Jack Roos scoring. Step up Craig Holland, the Park fly half kicking 2 penalties in the last 5 minutes to pull his side out of what could have been a major upset. 4 of the 7 games saw losing bonus points get handed out. Competitive matches right to the death. Find out more about our partners VO at ncarugby.com. Sale's huge win sends them top of the table. Plymouth Albion are in the top half for the first time in 2.5 years. Cinderford climb, Esher and Hull's efforts allow them to take their first bonus points of the campaign. Leeds Tykes and Birmingham Molesley prop up the rest.
Let's head back to National 2 North, and there was a brand new derby in the Steel City.
Sheffield Tigers against Sheffield was full of drama. The home side asserted themselves early, with Jamie Broadley accepting a gift from the opposition. Their day went south when Louis Townsend received a red card for a knee to Don Parsons' head, but Mark Ireland's kicking kept them ahead. By the final quarter, Tigers broke as Sheffield ran 4 tries in for the bonus point win, Yanto Jones setting up Kai Douglas here. In the Yorkshire Dales, Wharfdale wasted no time getting ahead of Harrogate, charging down the first defensive kick for Sam Gowdy to score. The hosts, having defended, took an opportunity to dot down quickly after the break, Will Hill finding the space. They never had enough to counter Wharfdale's running style. Another charge down, allowing Joshua Prell to add 3rd of 4 tries. The return of the Lancashire derby saw a fast-paced match. 5 minutes in, 14-man Preston Grasshoppers conceded to Files' Ben Gregory. There would be a lead for the Lightfoot Green Lane side though, as Ben Pearson put his boot through 2 penalties. It would only ignite Fylde's backs as they ran in 3 more tries. Jordan Dorrington would grab the last, scoring against his brother Ben. There was an early table topper at Brantingham Park, and it saw Hull Ionians jump out of the blocks, Sam Wilson scoring in 4 minutes. Rotherham Titans were able to match them play-by-play in the first half, the only difference being a Lloyd Hayes penalty at half-time. The battling second half saw only 6 points on the board, all from Ionians' Lewis Minikin as he kicked 2 penalties for a first-ever win against the Titans. And there was a humdinger at Hare Lane. Some expansive play from Chester perplexed Sedgley Park, Tom Furnival scoring in unusual style. And Jan van der Venter's side looked to be cruising to a surprise win with 13 minutes left when Charlie Craven burst through in the corner. Park had 2 game-changing stars, Matt Riley, scorer of a converted try, and Stephen Collins, kicker of the winning penalty, by 1 point.
Otley edged a tough battle in their first home game with a Joe Rowntree penalty, Huddersfield scoring through Finlay Stewart.
An absolute treat of a day in National 2 North, with 4 games won by 5 points or less. To read all about the scores, grab a copy of the rugby paper. Wharfdale and Fylde are the only teams to maintain maximum points, but it's already looking tight at the top. Sheffield's win also puts them in the top half. Otley's big win also sends them soaring up. Huddersfield and Harrogate were both deducted 5 points due to failing to honour fixtures last season.
Our National 2 East highlights start on the island, where Guernsey welcomed some tough opposition.
And Barnes certainly proved to be fierce opponents, the London side taking the lead after 2 minutes through Josh Davies' brilliance. Guernsey were not just going to roll over though, as Dan Morgan worked hard to secure a brace and keep the opponents in sight. The intensity of competition saw Barnes take it up a gear for the final quarter, Davies completing a hat-trick for a bonus point win. At the Woolhams, Henry Hawks got their campaign going with a strong win, Sam Lennon scoring the second against former side Old Albanian. Nigel Dudding's side were running rings around the Hertfordshire team, earning a penalty try just before the break through some silky moves. Old Albanian did put in a better performance for the second half, Alex Newt finishing a team move, but they never threatened Henley. A thriller unfolded in Essex. Westcliff found themselves in the ascendancy at half-time, Greg Bannister's boot taking 15 of 20 points. Rochford 100 came in with form and showed that in the second half with 2 decisive tries. Mark Ickhefer with the deciding score.
Yep, a good win, 29-27 against Westcliff. Proper typical derby, no team wanting to give an inch. Could have gone either way at the end, but I think on the scout things we probably did deserve that win. So another 5 points, 10 out of 10, we can't ask for more. And roll on Blackheath next week.
A game of 2 halves unfolded at the Marine Travel Ground. Canterbury's response to going behind early was 4 consecutive tries, Guy Hilton scoring here. Tonbridge Juddians had a mountain to climb, but chipped away at it before the break, Ryan Munley scoring in the last play. 4 more tries would follow, Brian Hodson crossing for the decider, with TJs having 7 different try scorers in a 12-try cracker. Bury St Edmunds appeared to be comfortable at Haberden after half an hour, Ben Cooper running through for their 3rd try in that time. But North Walsham brought a more competitive energy than their opening game and took the lead through a Matthew Hodgson penalty. The hosts were able to reel them in and deny the promoted side another chance at the lead, Mike Stanway hitting a brace. And there was an upset in Surrey. Curtis Barnes' brace had put Worthing Raiders just in front against Dorking, looking for a first win of the season. But there was fire in the bellies of the Bigfield side as George Jackson got them going at the break, kick-starting a 6-try haul. While Raiders were left perplexed in defeat, Dorking put on a masterclass in running rugby, former Worthing man Henry Birch putting the cherry on top. Some dominant displays in the 4th tier. 5 winning margins were by more than 10 points. Sevenoaks versus Blackheath was postponed due to pitch conditions. Barnes and Rochford 100 lead the way with Bury St Edmunds 1 bonus point behind. Blackheath stay in the top half on points difference. Sevenoaks are not far behind. North Walsham are the only side yet to get a point. Westcliff have a 5-point deduction due to failing to honour a fixture last season.
Let's finish in National 2 West, where the 4th tier made its debut at the old showground.
Newport Salop looked to be having a tough first home game against Bournville, Owen Williams putting them ahead against 14 men. But the Midlands side found their rhythm in the second quarter as Nick Murphy's converted try gave them the lead at the break. It proved to be the spark that ignited a superb second half for the promoted team. Jack Wells' brilliant score setting up a first ever National League rugby win for Newport Salop. 28 miles south, Loughborough students handed Stourbridge a battering in the first half with 6 tries, Harry Rosen scoring the bonus. The Starton Park side have cause for concern as they showed little resistance, hooker Jack Lee providing one of the fleeting moments to cheer. But it showed strong character from the students to continue pushing after their narrow loss to Clifton last week, Fergus Dick making it 8. Aldred Cliffians looked to be continuing their superb start to the season at Mortimer Park when Sam Rees surged through a gap. It was the last time the Bristol side would threaten Lucktonians, Ben Owen finishing off a superb sweeping move for 3 in 6 minutes. They would add 3 more after the break, Josh Watkins scoring for a brace, as Old Reds were given a brutal bump back to earth. In the Leicester derby, it was all the Lions for 70 minutes as they stomped to a bonus point win, Devon Constant capping it off with a chip and chase. Hinckley could simply not cope with the visitors, but enjoyed a spell in the final 10 minutes, which allowed David Peck over the line.
I thought in terms of work rate and application and physicality, I thought we fronted up well. Certainly that defensive effort in the first half was massive, but if you're playing against a good side for 60-70 minutes without the ball, you're always going to be on the back foot, you're always going to struggle. I'd like us to be a bit more ambitious in attack. I think we've got some good players now, especially out wide. I don't think we utilise them enough today.
Plenty of tries came in the Bristol derby, 9 in fact, and 3 were scored by Ding's Crusaders in the first 12 minutes, Buster Lawrence scoring from the first move. But Clifton found their way back in, Sam Worsley scoring 2 tries either side of the break. The day always belonged to the Shaftesbury Park side though, TJ Wilstead scoring in consecutive games for 6 on the day. Let's head to Topsham Exeter University's ground where Redruth's Kyle Bradley put the visitors 2 points behind at the break. The Cornish side's efforts only sparked a surge from the students. Max Bliss finished a sweeping move 3 minutes after the restart. Exeter University ended the day with 6 tries, Kofi Barton Byfield leaving Redruth stunned and sending National 2 West a big warning. And what a game at Weston-super-Mare. Barnstable fly half Jake Murphy found his boot heavily involved, kicking 8 points for a half-time lead. Hornets turned to Charlie Carter for 2 tries, while Jamie Ellswood's kicking put them 2 points ahead with 4 minutes left. But a crucial decision in the dying embers handed one last penalty to Barnstable, and Murphy made no mistake for the narrowest of wins. 56 tries were scored across National 2 West, plenty of twists and turns. Check out the YouTube channel for loads of exciting content. Dings Crusaders lead the way alongside Leicester Lions and newbies Exeter University. Lucktonians climb into the top half, marking a much better start than last year. Newport Salop are the big climbers at the bottom with Barnstable. There are losing bonus points for all except Starbridge, who already look in trouble.
Well, that's it from Newcastle. With Blaydon beaten, it's Tynedale's time in the North East Derby. See you next week. What's up guys, Warren Muggleton here. Thank you so much for watching that National League Rugby video. For more from the 3rd and 4th tiers of English rugby, just click there, right there. Oh, and don't forget to click the bell as well so you're notified when new videos are published. Trust me, you don't want to miss anything this year.